Everybody, uh, just thought I'd share a video, um, tell a little story about how I got to where I am, and just talk through where things are going. It really doesn't matter who I am. I'm just some guy. I'm 45. I'm in the Midwest, and I lost my job about 9 months ago, 10 months ago. There was a reduction in force, and it's tough. It's a company I helped build. I'm very proud of the work that I did there, but things happen. And under the strain of that uncertainty, my marriage, which was 2 years old, started to crack, and ultimately, I'm in the midst of a divorce. And I live in a room downtown Midwest city. I'm renting out from a guy, and I'm 3 days from being homeless. So that's where I am. My unemployment ran out, all that fun stuff. So the purpose of this video is to just talk through one incident that happened Friday. Today's Wednesday, and I've taken the time to just think through how I wanted to explain this. So I work for Instacart now. It was the quickest job I could get. It's one of the gig companies. Margins are crazy. You just need cash, like cash as quickly as possible. And outside of the other ones, I don't need to say who they are. You know who they are. This is the one that suited me the most. I can just work, cash out at the end of the day, pay a small fee, etc. And depending where you are in the country, Instacart is a good option, relatively good. Other parts of the country, it's piss poor. It's a publicly traded company. And I don't think they care about the people who work here. They've already cashed out. They did their work. They're fine. So last Friday was the second day in a row that the app crashed. So the app crashed Thursday. It was about an hour down. Came back up. Luckily, I didn't get stuck in the middle of shopping or checking out or driving to anyone's location. I was very lucky that way. But other people, not so lucky. Friday was July 3rd. Everyone's shopping for July 4th, which is the 1A or 1B Memorial Day, just grilling. So everyone's getting ribs and steak and, whatever, right? So everyone's like, it's going to be a really good day. We're going to have a lot of stuff to shop. Everyone's going to make a lot of money. App crashes. Second day in a row. This goes on for 2 hours. Eventually, it comes back up. I'm able to work. The longest day I've worked, I made the most money I've ever made. I've only been doing it for a month. Feels like 2 years. So even with the app crashing, it did great. And at the end of the day, it's about 7, 8 o'clock. I haven't eaten all day. I've just been drinking coffee and drinking water. That's kind of the diet of the gig economy. You just don't eat. You drink Red Bull and coffee and, crash at night. But there was one last job. And I said, I'm not going to take it because I did the best I've ever done. I'm going to get out ahead. But then as I was going to the store to get like a frozen pizza for dinner, divorced dad diet, I said, if that's still there, by the time I get to the store, I'll do the job. Sure enough, I get there, no one's taking it, I take it. I shop, I grab the stuff. One, it's a double batch. That's what we call it. That's what I call it. So the first is all water. The second is all wine. So one is hydrating, one is dehydrating. I shop it pretty quickly. I'm pretty proud of myself because depending on the store, wine is really difficult to find, but I got it pretty quickly. So I do the first order. I drop off the water. It's great. And the second order, once I've done the first, it comes up. It shows me it's a main street downtown. Now, normally I don't like to, because downtown, it's a Friday night, it's a holiday, observed holiday. You have doormen, you have apartment buildings, you have a lot of variables you want to avoid. If you stay in the suburbs, it's just a house number, you drop it in front of the house, bam, you're done. But as I'm driving it, I'm like, we keep going further downtown. I'm like, this is like deep downtown. So I get to the place and I double park and I put the hazards on, and the hazards feel like they're the brightest, they're possible. It's just calling attention to my car. There's police coming over giving me a ticket, towing my car or something. So I put them on the side street and I go inside, and it's a restaurant. It's a very fancy restaurant in the city. And I go inside and I've got these bags for 5 bottles of wine. And so I go, I'm waiting for the host. No one's coming over. I wait like 5 minutes. I'm sweating because I can feel the lights from the hazards just getting brighter and click, tick, 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 in my head. So finally she comes over, lovely young lady. And I say, did you guys order wine? It's your Instacart delivery. She goes, no. She goes, but it might be the apartment building next door. And she goes, what was the number? And I say, oh, it's this building number. She goes, yeah, we share that building number with this apartment building. It's a high rise. Fantastic. So I go outside and I look up, and sure enough, there's an apartment building right attached to it. And I walk over, and there's 3 big doors. The first door, behind 2 doors, there's a security desk. This guy, he's got a shaved side head, man bun. You know him, I know him. Fantastic guy. So I knock, the door won't open. So the guy points to the 3rd door. Doesn't even come up, just points. Like I'm interrupting his, Wordle or something. So I walk over to the 3rd door, and there's an interface where you can type in, call up to the person, use their unit number. And the unit number is on the order. And so I type it in, invalid. I type it in again, invalid. I take a deep breath. So I text the guy through the Instacart app. I said, hey, I'm downstairs. Please come down. The woman, the host, came outside, and she's knocking on the door where Man Bun Security is. And so she beckons me over. She goes, yeah, sometimes you just gotta really pester them to get them to come to the door. This is not the first time it's happened, obviously. She knows. So the guy comes over to the door. He opens the door, and he says, yeah, what's up, buddy? Like, you didn't just fucking see me. And I say, yeah, I have a delivery. And he goes, yeah, go to that door. I'm like, this guy's worthless. So I go back to the door, and I call the guy. I leave him a voicemail. You can call it through the app. I said, hey, it's Instacart. Your order's here. You need to bring your ID down so I can give you your alcohol. Nothing. So then someone inside on the 3rd door lets me in. So I'm in the lobby over there. Still can't get upstairs. And the guy calls me. He goes, did you call me? And I go, yeah, it's Instacart. I need to give you your wine. I need to see your ID. He goes, yeah, you can just leave it there. I said, no, I can't. He goes, because he thinks I'm still not inside. So he goes, can you get inside? And I forget what I said. But he says, you can just use my name. It's on the app. And I go, no, it's a handle. So, for instance, it'd be like John Jones 22. It would be like John Joe 22. There's no way for me to tell what his name is. It's a handle. No one's name actually comes through. So he was like, yeah, you can just put my name in there. It's on the app. I said, no, it's not. It's a handle. Like, I need you to come down and get your wine. So he goes, fucking Christ. He says it loud enough for me to hear it. And I go, yeah, I'll see you when you come down. So he calls me again. He says, are you inside? Again, he doesn't realize I haven't been inside. So he goes, yeah, you can leave it in there. I go, yeah, I'm inside. He goes, yeah, you can leave it there. I said, no, I need you to come give me your ID. 2 minutes later, he comes in from outside. He's not upstairs. He was outside. He comes inside, begrudgingly, hands me his ID. Now, mind you, if I could paint a picture for what this guy looked like, imagine what you think a person like this looks like. I'll tell you. White pants, white shoes, loafers, and like a blousey button-down shirt, like a Hawaiian shirt, of course, and his hair is pulled back. Fantastic gentleman. So he hands me the card, exasperated. And I take it. Now, through the Instagram app on my phone, you scan it. It's never happened to me before where it doesn't scan right away. Of course, it's not scanning. So I start to get tight because I'm scanning it, moving it up and down, up and down. I flipped it over, use the other side, up and down, flipped it over. Nothing goes through, and then eventually it goes through. I hand it back to him. I put the wine on the table in the lobby. I said, there you go. And as I leave, he follows me. We exit, and I walk back towards the restaurant, and he walks back there. I said, hey, your wine is inside. And he puts his hand on my shoulder, touches me. He goes, yeah, I know. He goes back into the restaurant that I came from. He was downstairs the whole time in the restaurant, and he just left his wine in the lobby. What bothers me is twofold. One, if this guy's ever ordered anything liquor related through an app, you know you have to be there with an ID. No one can do that. We'd be arrested or sued, whatever it is. Everyone's liable if you leave the liquor. So if he knew that and didn't do it anyway, fuck him. Or for some reason Instacart wasn't very clear in letting him know, hey, you got to be there to collect alcohol. I can leave your fucking steak and crackers, but you got to be there for the alcohol. What bothered me so much was that I had to take it. I had to eat it. I had no agency. This guy went out of his way to make me feel like shit, that I had ruined his evening. He went out of his way. Of course, I make a good anecdote when he gets back to the table. You wouldn't believe this black guy, of all things. But I had to take it. For the first time in my life, I went, this must be what it felt like. You know you're better than this. Like, you really know you're better than this. You have to eat this. And the whole time I was there, my fists were clenched with the fucking anger of fucking 400 years. I couldn't do anything because I needed the money. I still need the money. And if I got his order again, I'd have to take it again. And if he wanted to do that again, he could do it again. And I left. And I drove away. I got in my car, drove away. And I pulled over because I was so mad. I was so fucking mad. I couldn't drive. I had to give myself a moment, take some deep breaths. And then I got back on the road. And I was just going to go back to the room that I rent. And I was driving. And this is late. This is after 9 o'clock. And I get to a turn. And again, just like fighting off tears. The whole 9 yards. And I get to a light where I'm going to make a left turn, but there's a red. So I'm sitting there and there's no one else in the street. This downtown sucks in the city I live in. And I'm at the red light and I'm just staring ahead. And right across, diagonal from me, the corner diagonal from what the street I'm going to turn onto, there's a guy. He's got I don't know if he's homeless or not, but he's got a big piece of cardboard. And he holds up the cardboard. And there's no one else around. I'm sitting there looking around him. He holds up the cardboard. Cardboard says, "Don't give up." And I felt then how I feel right now, just thinking about it. It said, "Don't give up," in big letters. It held right up. I almost lost it, and I'm still at the red light. It hasn't even turned yet. And then he flips the cardboard over. He turns to the other side. He said, "You are loved." I'm a big believer in the universe. You just do good things will happen to you. It doesn't feel like it right now, because I've done everything right. I've done everything right. It feels like someone just got their knee on my neck. The whole world, the knee is on my neck. But that sign, "Don't give up. You are loved." So if anybody is at their bottom, like I am, because I'm really at my fucking bottom. I feel like I've been on like 80 interviews. Maybe I interviewed poorly, I don't know. But if anybody is at their bottom, it's only temporary. It's only temporary. Don't give up. You are loved.